The Lenormand 9-card spread occupies a central position in the classical Lenormand system and is one of the most frequently used layouts for serious, grounded readings. It is neither an introductory exercise nor a simplified shortcut. On the contrary, it is a compact analytical matrix that condenses the core mechanics of Lenormand divination into a manageable but demanding form. In the tradition attributed to Madame Marie Anne Lenormand, this spread reflects her pragmatic worldview. The future is not an abstract spiritual landscape but a sequence of events shaped by causes, decisions, relationships, and constraints. The 9-card spread is designed to expose that sequence with minimal ambiguity. The spread consists of 9 cards laid out in a strict 3x3 square. The geometry is not decorative, it is functional. Madame Lenormand's method relies heavily on spatial logic. Cards do not merely mean something, they occupy positions that define how they act, influence, block, or accelerate one another. The reader does not impose symbolic roles onto positions as in tarot. Instead, meaning emerges from structure, proximity, direction, and repetition. This is why the same 9 cards, rearranged differently, can produce a radically different reading. At the heart of the spread lies the central card, positioned in the exact middle. This card is the axis around which the entire reading turns. It represents the core fact of the situation, the dominant condition, or the central event that cannot be bypassed. In Madame Lenormand's practice, this card often described something concrete, a contract, a journey, a conflict, a message, an institution, a person, or a decision already in progress. It is not a psychological state or an inner lesson. Even when emotions are involved, they are shown as forces acting in the external world, not as introspective experiences. Surrounding the center card are 8 contextual cards that define how this core reality is supported, threatened, accelerated, delayed, or transformed. The card immediately to the left of the center shows what leads into the situation. This is the cause, background, or enabling factor. It may describe a past action, an existing relationship, or a condition that makes the central issue possible. The card immediately to the right shows what follows from the center. It reveals consequences, outcomes, or reactions that will arise as a direct result of the core matter. This left-to-right movement is one of the most fundamental reading techniques in Lenormand and reflects a linear, cause-and-effect understanding of time. The card directly above the center reveals what is visible, acknowledged, or already established. It often shows what the querent knows, what is public, or what has already been set in motion. This can include official matters, announcements, decisions already taken, or facts that cannot be concealed. In contrast, the card directly below the center indicates what is hidden, developing, postponed, or not yet fully realized. It can point to private motives, delayed effects, or events that are forming quietly and will surface later. This vertical axis between above and below mirrors Madame Lenormand's distinction between what is apparent and what is latent. The 4 corner cards expand the reading further and are essential for depth. The top left card often represents the foundation of the situation, earlier circumstances, ingrained patterns, or long-standing influences. It can also indicate what the querent brings into the situation from the past. The top right card shows what is already unfolding toward the future but is still visible or anticipated. It may reflect expectations, plans, or trajectories that are already apparent. The bottom left card often points to hidden influences rooted in the past, such as unresolved matters, subconscious motivations, or lingering consequences. The bottom right card usually describes emerging outcomes, secondary consequences, or developments that will appear after the initial result has manifested. One of the defining features of the Lenormand 9-card spread is that it must be read in multiple directions simultaneously. Horizontal reading forms narrative sentences. Each row can be read as a complete statement, with the cards modifying one another grammatically rather than symbolically. The top row often describes current conditions or visible dynamics. The middle row focuses on the structural core of the matter. The bottom row reveals what is building beneath the surface and how matters will continue to evolve. These rows do not operate independently, they echo and correct one another. Vertical reading introduces thematic consistency. The left column often speaks of origins, resources, personal input, or what the current relies on. The center column is the spine of reality, showing what is unavoidable or fixed in the situation. The right column points toward consequences, decisions, or exits. Madame Lenormand's readings were known for their strategic clarity precisely because she paid close attention to these vertical continuities. Diagonal reading is more advanced and was typically employed once the reader had already established the main narrative. The diagonal from top left to bottom right often reveals the natural trajectory of events if no external intervention occurs. It shows how things will unfold organically. The opposite diagonal can reveal conflict lines, alternative paths, or destabilizing factors. These diagonals are especially useful when the spread contains contradictory signals, as they help clarify which influence is dominant. Another critical element in this spread is card repetition and thematic clustering. Multiple cards related to communication, movement, institutions, or obstacles reinforce the importance of those domains. Madame Lenormand's system is empirical, frequency matters. A single negative card among many positive ones weakens its impact, while repeated restrictive cards indicate genuine difficulty regardless of surrounding optimism. Person cards, when they appear, fundamentally alter the reading. Their position, orientation, and surrounding cards reveal focus, awareness, and intention. What lies in front of a person card indicates what they are moving toward or actively engaging with. What lies behind shows what they are leaving, ignoring, or unaware of. This directional logic allows the 9-card spread to deliver remarkably precise insights into relationships, rivalries, alliances, and power dynamics. Time in the 9-card spread is not fixed but inferred. Fast-moving cards accelerate events, heavy or static cards slow them down. Cards in the upper half of the spread tend to indicate earlier developments, while those in the lower half suggest later ones. However, Madame Lenormand did not apply rigid timing formulas. She observed patterns over repeated readings and refined timing judgments based on outcome verification rather than doctrine. What fundamentally distinguishes this spread from tarot layouts is its refusal to moralize or spiritualize. The 9-card spread does not ask what should happen or what lesson must be learned. It shows what is happening, why it is happening, and what will likely follow if nothing changes. Any advice is implicit, derived from understanding consequences rather than receiving guidance. This makes the spread particularly effective for legal matters, negotiations, financial decisions, professional strategy, social conflicts, and practical planning. In the tradition of Madame Lenormand, divination was not an escape from reality but a method of navigating it more intelligently. The 9-card spread embodies that philosophy perfectly. It is compact but uncompromising, simple in form but demanding in execution. It rewards discipline, restraint, and careful observation. When read correctly, it does not overwhelm with symbolism. It clarifies with structure. It does not promise certainty, but it reduces uncertainty by exposing the mechanics of events as they are unfolding in the tangible world.